Oh, I'm Jeremy and welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about COVID and the Teachers Union. I did a video about this, but there's another video that came out with Reason TV discussing about this. I like Reason TV too because their videos are better put together than some of the others. Like Tim Pool is one that I watch, and he's pretty good about pointing out the fake news, but whenever it kind of really gets down to the meat and potatoes of things, Reason TV is better about bringing information. They do a little bit more research into it. And they're talking about especially California and the teachers unions over there and how ridiculous all this stuff is, and that the politicians over there with California and the teachers unions would not respond to any comments whatsoever. And once in a while, whenever they're asking these people to respond, sometimes they do. And they just, it never goes well for them. At least I don't think so. And so before I get into it, if you're watching this video and you're interested in this and you would like to know the truth, because that's what the website that I'm building is going to be about, is building it off of facts and evidence, then hit that thumbs up button so more people can see this in YouTube's algorithm or whichever platform that you're watching this on. And if you've watched a handful of these, then obviously there's some kind of connection here. So go ahead and subscribe so you can see what else is going on. And if you've been watching for, about a month, then seriously consider going over to my Patreon or Subscribestar and becoming a member there. So then that way I can have steady, reliable income. So then that way I can start hiring people. One of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to hire at least 4 people to also do content about all these things. And as a member, you're going to be able to decide for them what their content is going to be in general, and then specifically. So it's like if it's medical, do you want them to talk about diet or exercise or whatever the case may be? So they'll have a general one that the members will decide on. It'll stay that way, and then specifically stay on that. So anyways, with that said, it's so ridiculous. There was this lady, and she was the head of the teachers union there in California, talking about, well, we put the safety of the children first. It's like lies. Because what about the children who are committing suicide because they're isolated? Because suicides have gone up. What are you talking about? What about that? What about the kids who get killed in car wrecks? What are you doing about that? Well, what about the kids who get sick from other diseases and they get sick from that? Well, what are you talking about? This is a utopia, false statement right here that, no, you're not safe. The truth is that humans are fragile beings, and there's like 1 billion ways that we can die. And you don't lock yourself up just being afraid to just step on outside. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. It makes no sense whatsoever. And so this is the second time that I've recorded this video, and I went to town on it the first time. So I kind of got it out of my system, which is kind of a good thing because I get over hyped up on this stuff. So, but from my understanding, it's that, I bought these masks. I bought one box, and I used like 1 or 2 of them. Here's the problem. Look on this stupid thing. On number 3, whenever it focuses, it's going to tell you that these things have a lifespan of 4 hours. Number 3, please change and dispose the mask after 4 hours of use. I know exactly what it's talking about because I was in the Army. I was a 19th Delta Cavalry Scout, and we had PPE equipment, personal protective equipment, which is what you were supposed to put on if there was a biological or chemical attack. The first thing that you do was that you put on your mask, and then you sealed it all up and you puffed on out so you could clear out your mask. And then after that, you put your hands up and you waved your arms up and down. You said gas, gas, gas as loud as you could because you were yelling to everyone else so that they knew that there was a chemical attack going on. Then you put on this really heavy shirt and this really heavy pants and then rubber gloves and rubber boots. And they told you it's going to work for about this much stuff that's out there, and all this other stuff is going to kill you. And so whenever you get it on, no matter what's going on, that filter, it has a lifespan. It's only going to work. And I think it was 4 hours, maybe it was 6. You run and you get out of there. You did not run with the wind too. You ran against the wind or to the left or the right of it, but you didn't run with it because that kept you in the cloud even longer. If you want a mask that works, you have to start with those N95 masks. And the people who know it are the ones who have bought it up. And that's why you can't buy them anywhere, because they're all gone. Because that's the stuff that really works. And it's the same thing with those filters. They only last for a few hours and then they're gone. People are so stupid. They think, well, because these things have to work. I mean, everybody's saying it's like, no, it's all a bunch of lies. It's absolutely a lie. I don't care if you're wearing these things or not. If somebody is smoking and they come up and they blow smoke in your face, you think you're not going to smell it? It's like, yes, of course you're going to smell it. Yes, it's going to get inside your lungs. It's going to go inside of you. You think it's different with COVID because it's odorless or tasteless? It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Of course it does. It's still a vapor. It's still there. You're still breathing it in. This does not do anything for you. You're still going to get it. It says dispose of. It doesn't say wash with laundry detergent, wash with dishwasher soap, hold it down with Lysol. Who says that any of that stuff kills it? You know what? There's a reason why they have all of these insane practices that they do in hospitals whenever they're doing surgeries for cleanliness. There's a reason why they put it in an autoclave where it gets extremely hot, where it kills all that stuff, because that's the only way you can kill some of this stuff. But no, this hunk of trash that it costs like 25 cents per mask or something like this, because a whole box, it's just all dirt cheap, and you think that that's going to do it? You think that that piece of cloth that you have, it's like you're out of your mind. That's virtue signaling. There's no, from my understanding, there's no proof of this. And what I'm talking about is I'm not trying to change your mind at all. I'm trying to show that there's nothing but lies out there, and I want to know the truth. What is the truth? This teachers union president, representative, or whatever, she talks about all this stuff about safety, and it's like, I don't know. I do not know you from a hole in a wall. You are just another person just rambling on about nonsense. It's like, where's your proof? Where's your evidence? Because I know what you're not. You're not a doctor. You're not some kind of scientist or researcher or any of this stuff. And it's like, if you have all of this evidence and this proof, then where is it? How can you say that to me whenever I know that there are countries around the world where they haven't done this at all? I live in Texas. We haven't been doing this stuff nearly like California has. And we don't have these anything any worse than California or New York. It's like, you're kidding me. I tell you what, there was an article where it was a woman from Austin where she was complaining about how her husband had died from COVID, and she was crying. It was like, my husband did everything that he was told. It's like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know why? Because you could look at him. The guy was as pale as a sheet. He looked like a ghost. One of the things that I've heard is that you need vitamin D, and that if you're not vitamin D deficient, then your chances of dealing with COVID, even if you get it, that you're going to deal with it a lot better. Like, you know how you get vitamin D? By going outside. It's like this guy hadn't been outside for eons. And you know what? He looked like a beach whale. This guy was fat. This was something else that they talked about, was that if you have pre-existing conditions, you're going to have a very hard time with it. And it's like, you know what pre-existing conditions are? Having heart problems, having respiratory problems. You know how you have something like that? Because you're overweight, because you're putting too much weight on your internal organs. This is why you have high blood pressure. It's the same thing with water pressure. Whenever you go down into the ocean, you have all this water above you and it puts pressure on your body. It's the same thing with your blood veins. You have all this fat and all this weight. It's why even guys who are in shape, who are bodybuilders, they have high blood pressure because they have all this muscle. It's the same thing. And so, yes, you have a pre-existing condition. Should you be concerned? Yes. But you know what? That's your problem, not mine. If you want to shove ding-dongs and ho-hos down your mouth, go ahead, knock yourself out. I don't care. But who are you to tell me that I can't? It's like, I exercise and I diet and I do it because I want to be in good health. And I don't want any of this. I have another video where I talk about on I forget the name. I went through several names. Practical Focused Improvement. It's another channel that I have on YouTube. And I talked about how I made a mission statement about my health. And on one of them is for injury and illness prevention. Because the better health that you are, the better you're going to do. I know this firsthand because whenever my grandfather died, my grandmother wanted to move up here and she went into a retirement community, and we noticed that there were no fat people. And whenever we talked to the people who were working, they were like, yes. Because the more weight that you have on, it's going to kill you. It's going to knock off years and decades. There were no people who were 80, 90, 100 years old who were 300 pounds, 400, 500. They were already dead because your body cannot take that. Just because you can handle it whenever you're young, that doesn't mean that it continues, because you're just like everyone else. You get old and your body's going to deteriorate on you. It happens to everyone. You are going to die. I am going to die. Everyone will die. Well, what kind of fantasy world that you live in that you think that that's not going to happen? I don't understand it. And I could be completely wrong with it. Again, this is not to change your mind. This is to show that there's just all of this contradictory information. The reason why I'm not going on the side of California and the leftists is because that's all we ever hear. That's what they show all the time. And it's like, no, there's another side to this. And it sounds extremely legitimate. And I want proof. I do not want to hear about your opinion. I mean, you can throw your opinion out there. That's fine. But do not lie to me and tell me that it's a fact like that teachers union president woman did. It's like, you don't know? Because if you do, then where is it? And if anyone should have the evidence to show that this is the real legitimate stuff that you're talking about, you're the person who should be showing that to everyone. You're the president of the teachers union. Are you out of, man, no, I'm not going to buy your word for this. No, absolutely not. So, looks like this is a good place to stop. I've got roughly 10 minutes in. I don't want to make these videos too long. If you understand what I've been saying, again, man, subscribe. If you care about the truth, then help me with this, because I cannot do this on my own. The website that I'm going to design, it's going to be an automated system. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm not. It's going to be automated where everybody gets to fill in the information, and I'll go into more detail about exactly how that's all going to work. But there's no reason to go into it because I mean, I'm just starting out. I don't have any followers or anything. Right now I was making this video because I've only been doing this for a few days right now. It's not even been a week. And so, but yeah, so just for right now, especially if you're catching it right now at the beginning with the first few weeks, you know, you don't need to do any of that. Just subscribe to YouTube or whatever platform, hit the thumbs up. And then as it grows, then think about contributing to it, because I've got some traction going on behind me. I don't know how long that's going to take. So I know one of them is that it seems like people who, whenever you've done, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but whenever you get like 100 videos up and going, then the algorithm starts noticing you. And it's like, it doesn't matter when you do 100 videos. If you can do 100 videos in a week, or if you can do 100 videos in a month or in 2 years, because people do that pretty often. It's like, oh, well, the channel's just going off, you know, I don't know what's going on. It's because you hit a couple of milestones. And I'm sure it's not just how many videos that you've done. It's also that you've been doing them consistently. So it's like you couldn't do like 100 videos in a week and then not do anything for the next 2 weeks. So I'm sure there's also a time frame in all that stuff. So just, yeah, if you want to know the truth, because I tell you what, I do not give a damn about Republicans or Democrats. They can all just, they need to stay out of my way. I want nothing to do with the government. I'm just going to do this myself. And I'm going to do it with everyone else who wants to join up and help with this and get to the bottom of it. So thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again.